Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our overview of Solidify, our Science Leadership Development Workbook. Today, we're digging into Module 3 on three-dimensional instruction. We're building off our conversation about phenomena that are observable, that anchor instruction in something that students can figure out. And we're asking ourselves, what does instruction need to look like in order for students to deepen their understanding of science enough to actually explain the phenomena that we've asked them to figure out? So in this module, we're going to identify and define each of the three dimensions that make up three-dimensional instruction. And we're going to analyze that same instructional unit that you were introduced to in Module 2, McKenna and the metabolic reactions unit. And we're going to consider, where did the three dimensions come alive in that unit? So first up, you'll have the introductory task where you're asked to just put on the table, what do you already know about three-dimensional instruction? It could be nothing. It could be something that has to do with our standards, and you could have a lot of knowledge about that. And we want you to jot those things down and any questions that come up for you when you hear that term here. Then we're going to dig into task 1, where we're going to focus our attention in on the disciplinary core ideas, dimension 1. The disciplinary core ideas are the fundamental science ideas that students need to know. This is what students need to know about the science. And you're going to have the opportunity to keep track of the key science ideas that students figure out over time in the metabolic reaction storyline unit with McKenna. And you're going to be able to see where the DCIs live within that unit. Then you're going to move to task 2, which focuses you in on another dimension, the science and engineering practices. Now, this dimension, instead of what do students need to know, this dimension is all about what students are doing to make sense of phenomena. So these practices, there are 8 of them, are expected to be seen in science classrooms across the K-12 bands. And we're asking ourselves in this task to go back to McKenna's storyline and to ask ourselves, what are students actually doing to figure out what's going on with McKenna? They're developing using models. Are they analyzing data? Are they constructing explanations? What are the things that we're asking them to do? What are the practices that we're asking them to engage in throughout this unit? And then last, but certainly not least, we have our cross-cutting concepts. These are concepts that hold true across the natural and engineered worlds. They're the way or the lenses through which we want students to look at the science, the way we want them to think about the science. There are 7 of them, and you're going to have the opportunity to think about 2 of them a little more deeply, the structure and function concepts and the system and system models concept. And you're going to ask yourself, what is it about these concepts that students would need to understand more deeply in order to fully explain what's going on with McKenna in our metabolic reactions unit? And last but certainly not least, we have our bridge to practice. Here's where you will find your session outline, your starter deck with facilitator notes, your handouts to support you translating your learning around three-dimensional instruction into practical and accessible professional learning opportunities for other science educators wherever you are. And that brings us to the end of Solidify. It is my hope that this is going to be a useful tool for you as an instructional leader. And just know that if you have any questions, you have any desire for further support, you can feel free to reach out to us at Instruction Partners. I'm Dr. Jessica Henderson-Rockette, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great one.